Hey, you're recording.
Alright, you guys ready?
Hey! Everybody!
We'll wait on Georgia.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I got permission.
So this girl Stephanie.
Quiet on the set!
Alright. How's everybody doing?
How you doing? You stink!
Doing alright. I showered this morning. What are you talking about? So I know, everybody here has probably had a bad boss or two. My worst boss just left my job recently. And this guy was probably 5'3" with a serious Napoleon complex. I mean, he would just yell at everybody. He thought he had to be louder than everybody because he wasn't bigger than anybody. But one day he got right up to me and was yelling, and I just yelled at him. I said, "Get out of my chest." So, So he decided to leave. I wasn't done talking to him yet, so I followed him outside, and he hits the little alarm on his vehicle and opens the door, and out pops one of those little automatic steps. And I'm thinking, that's weird. I've never seen one of those on a Corolla. I really feel bad for his kids, though, because he took them to Disneyland, and the only ride he could go on is It's a Small World. So speaking of Disneyland, I was driving around Lodi with Ashley and her sister one day. We pull up to this gas station, and there's a guy with his pants down to here. He's wearing a sweater. It's got Winnie the Pooh on the front. And I'm just like, yeah, nothing says gangsta like Winnie the Pooh. I could just imagine this guy talking to his friends, going up, "What's up, my Tigga? Gonna get into some gangsta poo. Stack that honey." I can't really say a lot, though, because I still sag my pants every once in a while. Not as much as I used to, but I've been listening to rap music since I was a teenager. But I will not go to rap concerts, because I'm not going to spend all that money to sit there and watch the guy I paid to see say a few words and then have his 25 friends on stage repeat everything he says. It's getting ridiculous now. And then you have to worry about getting shot. So I've worked in customer service retail for most of my life. I just started a job with a national pharmacy store, drugstore, last year. And I walk in there and they're showing me the registers. You can use your fingerprint to sign into the registers. It's all high tech. Then I get in the office and they're showing me the paperwork, and it's a computer that runs on DOS. And I look at it and I said, "Are you going to teach me how to play Oregon Trail?" I can use my fingerprint to sign in, but I can't send an email. It's just kind of backwards to me. So hopefully they'll get that fixed one of these days. A couple weeks ago I was putting away the load at work, and I grabbed a mop and it said Wonder Mop on it. And I said, "Every mop's a Wonder Mop at my house." My wife looks at it and says, "I wonder what this is." So, we also have a Wonder Vacuum and a Wonder Washing Machine.
Wonder bacon.
So I worked at Target for a long time, and I had this guy come in, and he was trying to find his wife. So he comes back to electronics, and he's like, I'm looking for my wife." And I'm like, "Okay, do you know where she might be?" And he's like, "She's by the thread mills." I'm like, "What's a thread mill?" And he's like, "A thread mill." And I'm like, "Is it maybe in sewing?" And he goes, "No, those things you run on?" And I'm like, "Oh, a treadmill. Yeah, we don't carry these." And he's like, "Well, where would they be if you did carry them?" So I pointed him in the direction of Sporting Goods. I probably should have sent him to Sports Authority though. And another thing I've done most of my life is worked in gas stations. It's a pretty fun job. People think it's boring, but it's easy. But I had a guy come in, and in California, gas prices are astronomical right now, up around $4 a gallon. And I had a guy come in and tell me that I needed to lower the gas prices, and I said, "I'm sorry, we set our prices based on how much we pay for the oil." And he was like, "Well, you have your own refinery," and I'm like, "Yeah, but we still have to buy the oil from somebody." And he's like, "Well, then you need to call the president and tell him to stop messing around with foreign countries and fix our oil problem." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let me just call Obama and tell him, I got him on speed dial. I'll just hit him up real quick." So, and lastly, because my act is still really short, I'm still working on it. I had a customer come into the gas station, and the gas station's called USA, and she was really mad at me. She came in yelling at me saying, I don't know why my card won't work. My card never works at this gas station. I can't figure it out. You guys need to fix your pumps so I don't have to come up here every time. And I said, "Well, let me see your card. I'll see if there's anything I can do." She hands it to me, and it's a Chevron card. So I said, "Well, ma'am, this isn't a Chevron." And she said, "Really?" And I said, "No, this is a USA." She turned around, looked at the sign, and said, "Oh, okay," and just walked away. And, those are the kind of people I deal with on a daily basis. So my faith in the general public isn't too high. So that's all I have for right now.